Cela fait aujourd'hui 80 ans.
Today we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the ceasefire across Europe, putting an end to a war which destroyed our continent. It led to tens of millions of people losing their lives and ruined nations. We have veterans with us here today. You are the living witnesses of the horrors of war and also the resilience of human spirit. We pay homage to you, to your sacrifice, to your courage, to your commitment, which has been relentless in pursuit of peace. We also remember the efforts that have gone into reconstruction and the deeply anchored will of the European people to say never again. It was a bold vision which came after the war, a vision in line with rebuilding Europe, but also fundamentally changing Europe. This vision became what is today the European Union, one of the most successful peace projects in the history of humanity. Enemies of the past have become partners. Borders were drawn in blood and now have become bridges. However, memory alone is not enough. This needs to be a mission. If we can learn from history, then it's that peace should never be considered as fully acquired. Peace is never permanent. Today, and what should be a day of peace, unfortunately, we cannot say that. We cannot celebrate full peace because war is back in Europe following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This is a war against a sovereign nation, which constitutes a full attack against the rules-based order, against international law. This is an attack against international order which was built following the Second World War. This is why the European Union stands with Ukraine and has done since the first day, not only in its right to defend itself, but also in its right to a future without fear, a future of peace, a peace which cannot be reduced to a mere ceasefire, a peace that is not just a pause in hostilities, but true peace, true, a fair, long-lasting peace. Peace needs to be built on the ideas of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and international law. Your Excellencies, this war has already changed Europe. We cannot go back. Firstly, it has allowed us to strengthen our common defence policy, not with a focus on militarism, but with a deterrent against future aggression. Europe will have an integrated defence. That is something that should not be a far-off dream. It needs to be part of our current day. What hasn't been possible in the past now needs to be possible and is possible today. Secondly, the war has allowed us, member states and partners, to stand together, we can see the new higher levels of cooperation which have been achieved. Above all, this can be seen with our partnership with the United Kingdom, Norway, Iceland or Turkey. Now, more than ever, we stand united. Thirdly, this war has allowed us to speed up the enlargement to Western Balkans, Moldova and Ukraine. This is the best geopolitical investment that the European Union can make, looking for a stronger, safer and more democratic Europe. Defending the EU means we need to show our unity, our courage, and this is the only way of paying homage to those who have provided democracy and stability 80 years ago. Europe was not built as a memorial, but as a guarantor of future peace, a peace that cannot be reduced to the absence of war. Peace which is linked to justice, cooperation, democratic resilience and mutual respect. Peace is built on a daily basis via a dialogue between our shared institutions and a desire to see humanity triumph over our divisions. We need to ensure that this ceremony today is not merely a commemoration. However, this needs to be a true call to action, a call to renew our commitment to strengthen the European Union, a call to protect what has been built and with such effort and which can be lost so easily. To the veterans, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for your courage. Your commitment and your devotion is to freedom. And to all European citizens, we must never forget that peace is our heritage. However, it's also our responsibility. Let us celebrate and commemorate those who have fought for freedom in the past, and let us show solidarity with those who fight to defend freedom today. I'd like to come back to the words of Winston Churchill.
The cause of freedom. Merci beaucoup.